I'm gonna teach you how to sound like this on Bandlab.
You can download this preset, link in the description. Or the pain comment, man, listen, man, wasn't tripping.
Before we begin, if you like this vocal preset and want to download it for yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link in the description or the pinned comment. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you want to handle is the auto-tune, and to my surprise, honestly, he doesn't have it all the way cranked in the same way that a Travis or 𝐕𝐨𝐜𝐴 might have it. I was under the assumption it would be around the 100% range as well, but it actually isn't, and it doesn't sound too robotic like I thought. For me, I found that 80% is the best, or at least the maximum that you should crank the auto-tune to. But that's basically it for the auto-tune, just the essentials, classic, 80%, and obviously pick the right key of the song. Then I added a noise gate, and this is essentially to remove any of the background noise when you're not rapping. So whenever the volume of the recording goes lower than the threshold, which is -32.6, the attack will kick in really quickly at 1 millisecond, and to return to your vocals once you start rapping, the release is equally as quick at 100 milliseconds. Then I added the first of 2 EQs, and I didn't really do too much with it. The main purpose was just to boost the highs by 2.4 decibels, not that much, and to use the mid sweep feature over here to find the most annoying frequencies and remove. So what I did is I boosted the mids as high as possible. Honestly, I would play the song, and while I did that, I would sweep around trying to find the most annoying part of my vocals. Once you hear that really ugly resonance and track it down, which in my case it was around the 5 kilohertz range, then you drop the mids similar to the highs at -2.5 decibels, and you're good. Then I added a second EQ, a graphic EQ, to get a little more specific in what I want to cut and boost. And there's only one thing I want to boost and only one thing I want to cut. So for cutting, I went to the 100 hertz and I dropped it -4.4, just so it doesn't clash with the low frequencies in the instrumental, like the kick. And to get some of that warmness in the vocals in like the lower mid range, I boosted the 800 hertz part about 3.4 decibels. This is a case-by-case basis though. I just personally liked how it sounded. Then I added a de-esser. This is to remove the harsh S sounds that might appear in your vocals. I kind of have the threshold pretty high in terms of -1.8 decibels, and the frequency I left it at 9,000. If you're trying to level up your music career and want to upload your music to Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, click the second link in the description, because that's going to get you 7% off of DistroKid, the best music distribution platform on the internet. It's already only 20 bucks for you to upload an unlimited amount of songs and albums, so 7% off that is even better. Again, second link in the description. Now back to the tutorial. Then I added a compressor. I used a sort of mid-speed attack. You don't want it to be too quick, because or else it removes the transients of your vocals, and you want that to sort of stick out in front of the mix. I added a slower-ish release time of 373 milliseconds, put a threshold of 5.9, so that's where the compression will start taking place. I put a ratio of 8:1 and a makeup gain of 8.1, which essentially is to compensate for the volume lost from compressing. Now we're getting into the spatial effects, and they're much more subtle than in an 𝐕𝐨𝐜 or a Travis Scott, like I mentioned previously. This is a ping pong delay, just a little delay effect, but as you can see, it's only 7%, and there's quite a bit of a cutoff at the 900 hertz. This is really just a small embellishment which will add a bit of bounce to the mix, but it isn't a very predominant part of it. I put the tempo at quarter beats, feedback of 9%, like I said, a cutoff of 900 hertz, and a spread of 100%, giving like a nice stereo sound to it. And then finally, I added a studio reverb, again quite low, only 12%. This is just to be a nice cushion so your vocals aren't too dry and gross, I guess is how to describe it. But anything more than that and it would sound either too dreamy or trippy, or just not adjectives that work for LIL DURK. I put the tone at 64% and the room size at 19%, more of a smaller room instead of like a large hall or something like that. And that's how you get a LIL DURK vocal preset on Bandlab. Again, if you like this vocal preset and want to download it for yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link in the description or the pinned comment. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more tutorials like this. Comment below what other rappers you want me to tackle, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.